Hello my dear friends, welcome to Series English. My name is Antonia Ramaker and today we're going to talk about articles. Quite many of my students have been asking to create such a video, and that's why I've decided to make two videos which will summarize all the basic principles, all the basic information about articles. So we'll talk about cases when we should use the indefinite article or the definite article or no article at all. So in part 1 I'll talk about articles in general and the indefinite article. And in part 2 I'll talk about the definite article and cases when we are supposed to use no article at all. So there will be two parts, as I have already pointed out, and let's start part 1. Articles in general and the indefinite article, or n. And let's get cracking. I'm sure that you already know that there are two types of articles, indefinite and definite. Indefinite can have two forms, or n. When do we use when do we use n? Do you remember? We use in most of the cases, and we use n when the first syllable of the following word starts with a vowel sound. We'll talk about this rule in more details later. But, well, that's the rule. Indefinite article shows that we talk about some indefinite thing, person, place, and so on. So it is one of many. It doesn't matter which one, it's just an example. When do we use the definite article? When we talk about definite things, exact, peculiar, specific. So we know which one exactly we're talking about. So for example, I have a cat. A cat. Why a cat? Because there are millions of cats around the world and my cat is just one of many. If I continue talking about my cat, I will refer to it as their, because you know already which cat I'm talking about. So I have a cat, the cat is very fluffy. Now in the second sentence you know what cat I'm talking about, the exact cat, my cat. So, the definite article is used to talk about definite things, exact, certain, specific, peculiar. We know what we are talking about here. It's just not one of many. This is one of many. This is any, doesn't matter which one. I want to eat an apple. Not some specific apple, just any apple will do. So, I would like to eat an apple. Would you? Now we're going to talk about n in more details. So one more thing which I wanted to point out is that articles are connected with nouns. So they are closely connected with nouns and they are used before nouns. In some languages there are no articles, for example in Russian. That's why it's difficult to study articles. But you need to remember that articles show us what kind of nouns we are dealing with. However, sometimes articles are used with adjectives alone, but we'll talk about it later. Now let's focus on and n, the indefinite article of the English language. So, such articles are used only with singular, countable nouns. Singular means that there's just one apple, one pen, one shower, one window. And countable means that you can count things like that. For example, the noun apple, one apple, two apples, three apples, four apples, and so on. Pen, one pen, two pens, three pens, four pens, so on. Two rooms, 5 dogs, 7 bridges, and so on. So these are countable nouns, and the indefinite article is used only with singular countable nouns. It is never used with plural nouns and it is never used with uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns are nouns which can never be counted. So these are abstract nouns, substances, feelings, and things like that. So sugar, you can't say one sugar, two sugars. Well, actually you can when you are at a restaurant and you are ordering, but if you talk about this substance, sugar, you can't say one or two. What else? You can say one love, three loves, four loves, or one milk, two milks. But as I have already pointed out, there's an exception when you talk about ordering things at a restaurant or at a cafe. When you say, for example, I would like one coffee, one sugar. So just you need one spoon, one teaspoon, not more. It is possible. Or you can say, I would like one coffee. You mean a cup of coffee. So, however, coffee is an uncountable noun, but when you talk about ordering things, drinking, eating, you can use uncountable nouns like this. This is an exception, so be careful. But generally, uncountable nouns are not used with an indefinite article. Now, let's take a look at a couple of examples. An apple, a pen, a dog, woof, woof, an umbrella, a yellow dress. What do you see here? Well, before we take a look at this very specific example, let's take a look at these. We have an apple, N, because the first sound of the next word is E, an apple. We have E, it's a vowel sound, that's why we need to say N, not E, to make it sound more comfortable, to make it pronounced more comfortably. A pen, P is a consonant, that's why E, pen, a pen. A dog, an umbrella. Once again, A is a vowel sound, that's why N, not E. A umbrella doesn't sound very beautiful. An umbrella is 100% comfortable. And a yellow dress. Y is considered to be, is supposed to be a vowel. But at the beginning of words, it's usually pronounced as Y. And Y is a consonant sound. That's why we say E, not an yellow dress. A yellow dress. This is a consonant sound at the beginning of the next word. And by the way, it's not a noun, it's an adjective. But it doesn't matter because before a noun there can be adjectives. And we need to take a look at the next word after the article itself. That's why a yellow dress, even though Y is supposed to be a vowel letter. But here it produces a consonant sound. So be careful. Now, what are these? These are words which are uncountable. However, in some languages, they are countable. You can count them. That's why we need to remember them very well. So use is uncountable. That's why we never use E in front of it. So you can't say, I have a good news. Never. It will be wrong. So say, I have good news. The same goes for advice. Can you give me advice? Not can you give me an advice. Can you give me advice? Here there is a synonym, a tip, and it is countable. So I can give you a tip, but I can't give you an advice. I can give you advice, and I can give you a tip. Advice, a tip. Uncountable, countable. The same here, work is uncountable. I have work to do. I'm sorry, I am busy. I have work to do, not a work. Work is uncountable, but I can offer you a job. A job. Job is countable and we can use it with the indefinite article. Now, travel, the same. This word is usually used in general, so traveling. General concept of traveling. So travel is uncountable, but you can take a trip or a journey. So these are countable. Make sure to remember these and be careful. Do not use these words with the indefinite article, okay? There's one more interesting issue here. Singular countable nouns are never used alone, so there should be something accompanying them. An article or a possessive pronoun like my apple, my dog, my friend, or a demonstrative pronoun like this apple, this pen, this friend, and so on, or a quantifier like one friend, and so on. So there should be a determiner. Determiners are a class of words which help us understand what kind of thing we are talking about. They include articles, indefinite and definite, possessive pronouns or possessive adjectives, demonstrative pronouns, quantifiers like any, some, much, many, few, a few, little, each, every, 10, 5, 6, and so on. As I have already pointed out, the indefinite article "e" and "n" is used when we talk about one person, one thing, one object of many. So it is one of many, and it doesn't matter which one exactly. So the meaning is close to any or just one. I would like an apple. So I would like one apple. So let's take a look at a couple of examples. My brother is a scientist. There are many scientists in the world, and my brother is one of many scientists. So he is a scientist. So when we talk about our profession or what we do, we usually use an indefinite article. So we say, I am a student, I am a teacher, I am a pupil. So, is there a bank near here? I mean, is there any bank near here? I need to get some cash. Is there a bank near here? It doesn't matter which one. Any bank, one of many. So we also use this article when we talk about how often something happens, or when we talk about prices. Once a week, 3 times a day. I brush my teeth 2 times a day. Do you? $2 a kilo. What can cost $2 a kilo? Or $30 a barrel. Ooh. We also use the indefinite article. Once again, summarizing, just remember that this article is used with singular countable nouns when there's just one thing, one object, one person, and it is used in the meaning of one of many. It doesn't matter which one exactly, so any object, any person. I need a friend, any friend. Okay, that's it for today. Now we have some food for thought. Try to consider it, chew it really well, and remember it. So as I have already promised, there will be part 2 where I will talk about the definite article and cases when we're supposed to use no article at all. So stay tuned for part 2 and see you in my next video. Do not forget to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to continue studying English with me, and hope to see you soon. Happy English and Russian practice. Bye bye.